Before we begin, everybody, I would just like to give a huge thank you to PlayStation for actually granting me a free early review code of the Silver Lining DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man exclusively on PlayStation 4. Without their support, as well as everyone from Insomniac, Marvel, and of course all of you amazing viewers, this early review video would not ever be possible, so thank you all so much for everything. And without further ado, everyone, let's jump right into this review.
This is Sable International. We have authorization for deadly force. Tell me where to find Hammerhead.
Sable, the queen of making entrances.
Stay out of my way or suffer the consequences.
I thought you were a good guy.
You have allowed this Hammerhead to steal all of my weapons and supplies.
Let's see you dodge this!
Kill him.
Throughout the main narrative of the game, you went up against some pretty tough foes for Spider-Man to handle. But even though Spidey's rogues gallery was extremely lively and vivid during the main story, there was one character that I do think had a little bit of an underutilization during some aspects of the game's ending. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm mainly discussing the femme fatale herself, Silver Sable, who was lucky enough back in action within Silver Lining. In Marvel's Spider-Man Silver Lining, Silver Sable makes her return and attempts to reclaim her stolen Sable International tech. With New York Police Chief Yuri Watanabe on administrative leave following her exploits against Hammerhead, Spider-Man will have to rely on unlikely allies to keep Marvel's New York safe. And within the third and final chapter of Marvel's Spider-Man The City That Never Sleeps story, Marvel's Spider-Man Silver Lining features new missions, new upgraded enemy and crime types, trophies, challenges, and 3 new suits, including the suit that Peter wears in the recently released Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures animation film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And obviously, one of the other biggest features to be added within Spider-Man PS4 as a whole is the newest update that Insomniac added for the game, featuring the web suit, aka the very much popular Sam Raimi suit. So as you all know, I previously gave the first piece of the City That Never Sleeps DLC of the heist a solid 9 out of 10, and for Turf Wars, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. However, I can tell you guys without a doubt that Silver Lining is easily the best chapter throughout the entirety of the City That Never Sleeps pack. Not only is Silver Lining filled to the brim with content, including that of main missions, city crimes, as well as multiple side activities to do throughout the city, but it's also the longest out of all the other DLC chapters thus far. Not to mention that there's numerous highlights throughout the main story, which I will not spoil for you guys, but one thing I will point out is the incredible performance from Nicole Elise as Silver Sable coming back for another go-around. I already thought that Nicole did a wonderful job portraying Silver Sable in the main game, although I do think she has much more time to shine given that she is indeed one of the main characters that is highly focused within Silver Lining as a whole. And speaking of other characters, Silver Lining does a wonderful job of fully concluding all the previous unfinished storylines within this last chapter of DLC, as well as leading to other teases that could be added in a potential sequel. So besides there being more entertaining gameplay segments which do have crimes that evolve over time as you continue to play through Silver Lining, the writing of this chapter itself is completely top notch. And once again, to refrain from spoilers, there are some pretty exciting gameplay segments which I was not expecting to be added within Silver Lining at all, as well as a wonderful conclusion to the ever-going storyline, including Screwball. And yes, I do know it's really hard to talk about this particular DLC without mentioning spoilers, but I do genuinely believe that this story is too good to ruin for you guys, and I genuinely think that you should experience it for yourselves. Although one thing I don't mind fully going over is all the new suits that have been added within this newest chapter of DLC. As I mentioned previously, we do have some pretty iconic suits from the recent Spider-Man movies of the Sam Raimi suit, as well as the one from the animated Spider-Man film Into the Spider-Verse. But alongside of that, we also got some other suits with Cyborg Spider-Man and the Dr. Aaron Aikman suit. Now, at first I was a bit hesitant on these costumes as a whole because I do think a lot of them are just repeats of the classic suit, but actually after playing with them myself in the main game, I do think they are extremely well detailed and definitely earn their spot in the game. The Spider-Verse suit definitely has the same textures as they do in the animated movie, which definitely seems like it is ripped off right from that film. As for the Cyborg suit, I didn't really appreciate it that much at first, but after seeing it in motion, I do love the fact that the bandana that Spidey wears continuously flows when swinging through the city, as well as the intricacies layered throughout the suit with the cyborg arm, the belt, and more. Plus, given the narrative themes that you experience during the story, it actually makes sense that it is included within this piece of DLC. As for the Dr. Aaron Aikman suit, I do like how its armor is more textured and layered compared to the other armored suits that are already in the game, as well as the giant boots that he has on his lower torso. And of course, the suit that almost everyone is going crazy over is the inclusion of the newest web suit for Spider-Man PS4, of course being the Sam Raimi suit. And if you thought the Spider-Verse suit looked like it was straight from the film, this one is almost one-to-one identical for that of the Tobey Maguire films. And to sum it up, each of these suits look great in their own unique way. So overall, Silver Lining includes great performances from all the voice cast in the game, as well as a really great story that wraps up all previous narratives, great gameplay segments, more challenging side missions, as well as more enemy types to fight to give you more of a harder time. And even though Silver Lining may be the last chapter of the City That Never Sleeps pack, it still has me wanting more from this incredibly amazing game, which is why I'm going to give Silver Lining a solid 9 out of 10. I honestly love everything that Insomniac and Marvel did for the conclusion of the City That Never Sleeps pack, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for the future of this amazing franchise. And given the previous DLC packs that we received in the past, it's great to see that Insomniac and Marvel truly ended on a high note. But anyways guys, that's my review of Marvel's Spider-Man Silver Lining, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of all the new suits that have been implemented for Silver Lining, and are you excited to fully play through it yourself? If I did have to rank each DLC pack, I would say that Silver Lining comes out on top and the Heist is second, whereas Turf Wars is at the last spot. Each DLC pack had its own ups and downs, but for this one, I truly see only upsides for this great story and awesome gameplay segments. And even though we may have to wait for the sequel of Marvel's Spider-Man to release if we do want to see this story continue, I just love how they ended it within this piece of DLC. But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.